Dace Angling Blog. Today you join me on the banks of the River Ribble and we're in search of silvers on the Bolo. Conditions wise today, it is quite overcast, but there is a really bad wind on the river. It's probably coming through on the mic now. It's unavoidable really, it's coming over the hill behind and upstream at times and swirling, so there is going to be a bit on the video, so I do apologise. This is the first session out since the Friday announcement that I was joining the team with Dinsmore, and I'd like to say just a quick thank you to everybody who left such nice comments on the video and on social media. Thank you very much. It was fantastic to read such kind words on the blog, and I thank you all. Right, so setup wise today, going with my 17-foot float rod, purely for control. It's a big river, and the longer the rod, the more control you're going to have over the float. I've gone with a 3-gram Bolo, and I'll go more into why I've chose that when we get fishing. That's down to a bulk shot with number 4 weight and a 2.5-gram Olivet, and then I've got 2 number 8 droppers going down the line to a size 18 hook. So that's the setup for today. Let's have a look at the side tray and the swim. Right, so swim for today, stood in the river. As you can see how clear it is. Got my bait waiter, my keep net, and the landing net is just rested on the bank there, all to hand. The side tray, I've got 2.5 pints of Cheshire Particle hemp, about 3 pints of red maggot, and the terminal tackle for today is Dinsmore's 2.5-gram inline Olivet, Camazan size 18 hooks, number 4 weight, and then a selection of weights just to set the float just right, and a depth plummet. Looking at the swim and say it's a windy day, and I've managed to pick just a bit of calm with it, and there has been fish topping as normal down the middle, and what I'm hoping to do is to bring them closer over. Like I've always said with this swim, there's good markers on it, and today I'm going to be feeding me maggots in line with the peg with that tree, and me hemp probably where that pile is next to it, hoping, you know, to get the fish. You want to get them as close to you as you can today. With the wind, you're hoping to get the fish as close as you possibly can to you to have more control. So just into the first fish of the day. It looks like a dace, I think. That's a nice little small dace just to start the day, coming on maggot just at the back end of the swim. We go, there's that dace, and after 3 weeks not fishing, boy does that feel good. I enjoyed fishing the canal, but you can't beat the fresh air and being stood in the river and a dace in the hand. It's a nice start that to the day. So in these early stages, it's all about working out where the fish are in the peg and how they want to feed. You'll find that your bites will come in a certain area, and the fish will tell you how they're feeding. Now if you start getting bites up here above your hemp, it tells you that they're coming to the maggots and not your hemp seed. If you start getting bites right down, ideally you want to get them where they both meet, but you are just trying to work out where in the river the fish are and how they're feeding on the day. There's a lot of fish topping. You can see there, that's just come right where the hemp and the maggots have met. I think it's a billy. So just into another one, again just coming over that hemp and where the maggots are landed, and it's another dace, and it does seem like there's 1 or 2 dace in the swim, and it'd be lovely to have a nice net of dace today. Towards the middle and end of February, towards the end of the season, you can't beat a day fishing for dace. It's one of my favourite, as I've said before, types of fishing. Although I wouldn't mind one of them big roach turning up. But again, just feeding straight out in front. And I've just put some hemp in, so I'm not putting hemp in every time through, maybe every other cast, and just edging the bait through. Just holding back against the flow and edging the bait through, and that's the first better fish of the day. It looks like another dace. Let's get it in and have a look. So that's what February is all about. Lovely plump dace, and that's a lovely hen dace, that ready to spawn, as you can see, and it's a sign that the end of the river season is not far away. But that fish has made my morning. As I say, a few weeks off the river and a lovely fish. Let's get it back. Right, so just hooked into another better fish, and I'm amazed on this river we've not had a pike come and take a fish in all the sessions we've done on here, with it being so clear. And that looks like a nice roach. There we go, and there's that roach. So nice days and a nice roach so far, and just shows there is one or two quality fish about, and hopefully we can get them a shoal of these on the hemp. And if we can, and maybe the wind drops a little bit, we might be in for a few fish. It's not easy at the moment because of the wind, but yeah, it's a lovely river roach. Does it feel good to be stood in the river and have a bend in the rod? And it looks like a nice roach, and there we go, a lovely roach. Silver scales, it's got its orange eye and that brown hue that all these river Ribble fish seem to have. So the bites have been a bit hit and miss at times. You know, there seems to be the shoal there and it'll disappear for a bit and then you have to get it back in. But when that shoal of dace is in the swim, you can put a couple of bites together and it's enjoyable fishing. Difficult with the wind, but enjoyable. And although the temperature above the water doesn't warrant the thermals, below it it's a lot cooler. These fish today are absolutely ice cold. I'm just hooked into a better fish, nice bend in the rod. And today, these stamp roach and the dace have been the better fish on the day. A lovely bar of silver. And a sign that you're getting it right when you're trotting is when you're hooking the fish like that, right in the top lip. And that's a good sign that your bait's going through at the right depth and you're getting it right. And that is an absolutely immaculate roach. Look at the scales on that. So I was recently contacted by somebody who watches the blog about buying their first stick float rod. But the first thing you're looking for is weight of the rod. You want as light as possible because at the end of the day you are going to be holding that rod all day, and over the course of a day, you know, some rods can get really heavy when you get up to the 17, you know, foot bracket like this one. Some of them are not the lightest, and obviously the more you pay, the lighter the rod. The type of rod you're looking for is one with a tip, you know, the action in the tip. Like you can see there, if I pull that rod like that, it's only the tip moving, and what that does, it allows you to use lighter lines and not snap when you strike. And also when you're playing fish like dace that move in the flow, it cushions the jagged fight of a roach or a dace. But they're the things that I'd be looking for when I was looking for a rod, and take into account the venue you fish. Obviously if you fish a stream, then you'll want like a 13 to 14 foot rod. But for rivers like this in the Dane, and rivers like this in the Dee, sorry, you know, you're looking for the 15, 16, 17 foot rod really. Because what you want is, when you're casting, the longer your rod, the more line you can keep off the water, and the better control you can have over the float. So yeah, that's what I look for when I'm picking a stick float rod. And the two that I own is a 17 foot Preston Innovations carbon active rod and a 14 foot Drenalaculite. There's another nice roach, again just over that hemp, and in keeping with this afternoon, it's a nice bend in the rod and another better quality roach, and that is a much better roach, that one. Let's get him out and have a look at him. And that is more like what we come for. Definitely the biggest fish of the day. I say, I don't know what it is yet, but it's pulling like mad. I just hooked it just underneath my feet. It's a flatty. Well, the Facebook police will struggle with this one. Do you hold it up like that, or do you hold it up like that? I think that way is better. But yeah, what a fight. It was solid. I thought it was a perch to begin with, because that dorsal fin at the front come out of the water. But yeah, certainly a different species for the blog this week, and it's made my day, that. What a lovely fish. Let's get it in the net. And isn't nature amazing? If you look at the top of that flatty there, that's just chilling at the top of the net, and then you look at the sand that we're stood in, almost perfect. With this type of fishing, the more that you fish a venue, the more you work it out. What has been noticeable on this venue is every afternoon past 2 o'clock the fish come right in on this inside line here. They've not been there all day because we've had to go past it to get the bites, because I tried here for a few hours at the start, just kept dropping on it and feeding it, but there was nothing there. And in the last hour it's been a bite of chuck just on that line. And that's what I love about river fishing. In the morning it was dace, and in the afternoon a shoal of roach. And I just love how the swim changes with this type of fishing. In 10 minutes time there could be a big shoal, a 3-pound chub. You just never know, and that's how quickly the swim can change. And that's why I love fishing them so much. Another quality roach just coming on that inside line now. Really, really enjoyable afternoon on the bank. We had another quality fish coming in the afternoon, roach and dace, in what has been a thoroughly enjoyable day on the bank. And that is a corking fish to end the blog on. Not a scale, out of place. Let's have a look at that final net and see how we've done. Right, so there's the final net of fish. An absolutely fantastic day's fishing on the bank, just over 17.5 pounds. And after 3 weeks without the car and getting on the river, that's just what I needed. absolutely made up, and some quality fish in there as well. Tight lines in your own fishing. It'd be great if you could like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all next week. Tight lines.